As you learn Chinese, you will notice more and more four-character expressions. Some are quite formal and serious, and some are just everyday life expression. But there is no clear grammar rule that fully explains them. Even your Chinese language teachers usually have to explain them one by one, and linguists are still studying them, try to find out the rule. I don't think I can fully explain them either, because they are compressed pieces of culture, history, society. All those complicated elements packed into just 4 characters. They connect the past, present, and influence the future of the Chinese language. So if you are a beginner, just take this as an introduction. If you are more advanced, it may deepen your understanding. And yes, I heard that attention spans are getting shorter, but this video isn't made for the 5-second attention economy. By the way, I don't really think idioms is a perfect match for the Chinese word Chéngyǔ. In some ways, they are a little bit more unique than what English speakers usually call idioms. They are kind of like how many words don't really exist in the same way in English. But since most scholars have traditionally called the word idiom Chéngyǔ, I will stick with that here, just to keep things simple and consistent. Well, first of all, I would like to talking about the connections and the differences between Chéngyǔ and Sìzìgé. In Chinese linguistics, Chéngyǔ and Sìzìgé are closely related concepts, but they are not exactly the same thing. Chéngyǔ usually have fixed idioms with historical cultural origins. They always have a story behind it, like what you may find on my channel, 塞翁失马, 愚公移山, 画龙点睛, etc. Sìzìgé, any 4-character patterns can be called Sìzìgé. So most Chéngyǔ are Sìzìgé, but not all the Sìzìgé are Chéngyǔ. They do share a lot of similarities. Both function as single vocabulary units within a sentence. Instead of translating them word for word, you treat the entire 4 characters as one block that can serve as a subject, object, predicate, or modifier. Both are used to make speech and writing more concise and expressive. But their difference mainly lies in the origins, flexibilities, and the meanings. You can think of 4-character phrase as a large family and idioms as a special elite group within that family. If you ever been Chinatown or have a proper interaction with Chinese people, you may heard 万事如意，步步高升，恭喜发财，年年有余，年年有余. Oh, I forgot to convert traditional Chinese into simplified. But anyway. So, are they Chéngyǔ or Sìzìgé? First, Chéngyǔ is more strict, have more strict subset. Sìzìgé have a broader category which you already know, but didn't say the origin in histories. Usually Chéngyǔ are from literature, myths, and historical events. But Sìzìgé are created through modern language patterns or structures. I believe 恭喜发财 is definitely Sìzìgé, not Chéngyǔ. So about the meanings. The meaning for the Chéngyǔ, the meaning goes beyond the literal words. Nowadays people only use the metaphor meaning, and you must remember them. But for 4-character phrase, well, the meaning is usually a direct combination of the words, a pattern rule. Just the literal meaning is tell you what it is. When we come to the flexibility, you can't change the character or order of the Chéngyǔ. But when it comes to Sìzìgé, it's more productive and more flexible. New phrases can be formed dynamically using established structures. So we will see those examples later. Now let's have an example of Chéngyǔ. So, 成语胸有成竹 literal meaning to have a perfect image of bamboo in your chest before painting it. Actual meaning is to have a well thought out plan before action. It shows a confidence of success. Why it is a Chéngyǔ? It comes from a historical story about a famous bamboo painter. Its meaning is figurative, and you can't change its words or the word order. 4-character phrase. 有甜有咸. Literal meaning, some are sweet, some are salty. Actual meaning, exactly what it says, describing food that includes both sweet and salty flavor. Why it is a Sìzìgé but not a Chéngyǔ? It is a modern combination based on 有 A 有 B grammar pattern. It has low historical backstory and its meaning is completely literal. Okay, here are more 4字歌. 万事如意, 心想事成, 生日快乐, happy birthday. You must know. 步步高升, 年年有余, 恭喜发财. We have encountered them before. 4-characters expressions are frequently used due to their concise form but rich meanings. And we may also use Chéngyǔ in our daily life, but not that much, except the one I will list. When come to 4字歌, they have different structures, like pattern 1, 大 A 大 B. Different internal structures typically convey different meaning. In 大 A 大 B, A and B are two monosyllable units of similar meaning. The pattern usually serves as a predicate in a sentence to indicate very A and B, greatly A and B, or having a lot of A and B. 吃橘子是希望新的一年大吉大利. Eating tangerine represents a hope that New Year will be very lucky and prosperous one. 过年的时候，家家大鱼大肉庆祝新年. So it means during the Spring Festival, every household prepare a lot of fish and meat to ring in the new year. Well, yeah, I get fat during Spring Festival. 睡觉以前大吃大喝相当不健康. Eating and drinking a lot before bed is rather unhealthy. Everybody knows. 张先生、张太太常因为小孩的事大吵大闹. Mr. and Mrs. Zhang often have big fights because of issues surrounding their children. Too sad for kids. The pattern 有 A 有 B is usually served as a predicate in a sentence. A and B are two monosyllable units whose meaning can be opposite. They can be state verb, nouns, and action verb. The patterns may indicate some A, some B, as in sentence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which I will show immediately. 1. 那家店的水果有坏有好. sorry, 那家店的水果有好有坏，得慢慢的选. Some of that store's fruit is good, some is bad. You have to select carefully. 这家小吃有甜有咸，你想吃什么就买什么. So, like I said, 有甜有咸，有好有坏. They are almost in the same category. They can be something opposite. 好坏. Sentence 3 and 4. 这附近有山有水，风景真美. Mountains and waters. They are all the lawns. 他有名有姓，你不可以叫他喂，太不客气了. He has a name, calling him Hey you is not polite. 我们昨天去参加学校的活动，有吃有喝，很开心。吃 and 喝 both are verb. 大家一边吃饭一边说话，有说有笑的。We ate and talked, and there was a good conversation and laughter. So 有 A 有 B means coexistence, varieties, abundance. 有甜有咸，有山有水，有吃有喝，有说有笑. So different 4-characters formats have different productivities. For example, there are more expressions in 有 A 有 B format than in the 大 A 大 B format. Further example of 有 A 有 B format include 有高有低 some high, some low 有快有慢 some fast, some slow 有新有旧 some new, some old. Some four character expressions have special meanings which resists analysis. For example, 有头有脸 A person is usually described of person who is respected and maybe of status, prestige, or authority. Anyway, just some big short. 有声有色 it means having sounding and color, describing an impressive display, something dazzling. Not all units of similar meaning can fit into 大 A 大 B. The following examples are not acceptable. 大平大安 大跑大跳 大清大楚 大快大乐 No, no, no. In fact, most of our character formats accept only a limited set of units. That's why make the rule for 四字格 are quite complicated. In addition to meanings, the most important thing to know about 成语 or 四字格 are their functions in a sentence. You can get the meaning by breaking down those words and check the dictionary, but you should find out their function in a subject, in a sentence, such as working as subject, object, modifier, adverb, complement, commentary, or predicate. 四字格 works as a predicate, the main action or state of the sentence. 他现在在娱乐圈大红大紫 Subject plus four character phrase. Translation is he is extremely famous in the entertainment industry right now. I mentioned nowadays people also say 他现在在娱乐圈很火 is in another short video. But anyway, I don't know who is 大红大紫 now. Okay, B. Work as a modifier or adjective describing a noun. 爷爷是一个有情有义的人 Four character phrase plus the plus noun. Grandpa is a loyal and affectionate person. C. Serve as an adverb or manner describing how an action is done. 妹妹有模有样的学着妈妈做饭 The younger sister copied her mother cooking, looking just like a professional. As working as a subject or object, acting as a main nouns. 他的一生经历了许多大风大浪 He experienced many major hardships, big waves and winds in his life. 做事有始有终是很重要的品质 Finishing what you start is very important quality. So why Chinese folk words expressions are beautiful but also chaotic and impossible to plan with one single rule? Well, imagine you are looking at a fast-flowing rivers, and this river is combined with ancient and modern, maybe even future. Some waters have frozen into a solid, unshakable chunks of ice or even stones. You can't change their shape. They are 成语. The rest of waters is liquid, flowing freely and changing shapes. Those are four words characters. But here is a catch. Because it's a river, the ice is constantly melting and the liquid is constantly freezing. That's why it is impossible to make a perfect permanent list of them, especially for 四字格. 成语 is comparatively permanent. Even though there is no golden rule that can apply for all the 四字格, but there are some rules. This section will explain the main structure and the grammar rule of the four characters. For example, 大 A 大 B pattern, you need to emphasize high degree. How it is made, 大 is placed before two single characters that have similar meaning. The case characters can be adjective, noun, and verbs. Yeah, you may already found that. It emphasizes a high degree, large amount, or high intensity of the something. It translates to very a lot of or loudly, like 大吉大利大鱼大肉. You may also heard 大悲大喜. The 有 A 有 B pattern means coexistent varieties. A and B must be the same part of speech, both be active, both be noun, and both verb. However, their meaning can be synonym, similar, or can be opposite. like 有好有坏，有甜有咸，有山有水，有名有姓，有吃有喝，有说有笑。There are more. 有始有终，有情有义，有模有样，有来有往。There are a lot of them. Now, let's choose pattern EX and EY to deepen your impression or to make your brain even more chaos. Are you ready? 一颦一笑，他的一颦一笑都深深地印在我的脑海里，让人久久无法忘怀。Literal meaning is every frown and every smile, every movement and every expression of a person. Usually when you fall in love with somebody, you may use it. His every frown and smile are deeply engraved in my mind and make it impossible to forget for a long time. 一心一意 Heart and soul. 既然决定了要考研，你就应该一心一意的复习，不要再被其他杂事分心。Since you have decided to take the postgraduate entrance exam, you should review wholeheartedly and not to be distracted by other trivial matters. 一生一世，他们两人在婚礼上许下誓言，承诺要一生一世相互扶持，永不分离。Whoa, it's very romantic.The two of them made vows and are waiting, promising to support each other for a whole lifetime and live apart. 一带一路 This is definitely new. It's not exist in the past. It's proposed by some big guy. The Belt and Road Initiative. 一带一路倡议不仅促进了沿线国家的经济发展，也加强了区域间的文化交流。一笔一画 Stroke by stroke.刚升学的小朋友正在本子上一笔一画地练习写汉字，态度非常认真。When you learn Chinese, 一笔一画的写汉字非常重要，一模一样 ，exactly the same。这对双胞胎一模一样。See, even with a very simple Chinese character, it have a lot of phrases. Or I should say have a lot of characters and idioms. But then that means learning Chinese is impossible. You only learn the high frequency one, that's it. So I think what I listed here is already contribute to some part of it. Anyway, if your brain is already blurred, sorry. That's it. Bye-bye.